When I step up on a summer. On my wrist. When I step up on a summer. On my wrist. When I step up on a summer. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Diamond, diamond, diamonds on my wrist. When I step up on a
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. The Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys to break down 3 industry articles every single weekday. We're a little bit earlier than normal today because I got some travel coming up today and tomorrow, and I just got to work around. You know, at the end of the day, guys, when you're in business, you got to make these changes up front and make things happen regardless. Dennis Everett, good morning, sir. He's over on YouTube. Before we get in, as always, you guys are going to give a shout out to my friends over at VHub. Asset reallocation is the wave of the future in freight, you guys. We all know this. We all know we need trailers, right? We all know that our shippers, our customers, our prospects out there, that's what we need. So now you can utilize a seamless service like VHub to get out there and bring that value to your customers. At the end of the day here, I'm going to show you what they got going on right now. We have... just making sure you guys can see that. Again, we have out there in Boucherville, Quebec, which is just outside of Montreal. They have trailers going down to Shippensburg, PA, as well as over to the St. Louis, Missouri area. And as you can see, you get paid to reposition these, you guys. And then furthermore, you can build up round trip opportunities with these as well to keep those trucks moving. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you guys, providing a power-only solution is providing a solution that your customer needs. Furthermore, they have reefers available out there in the Monroe Township, New Jersey area, looking to head up into Coteau du Lac, and just outside of Montreal, over in Ottawa, and then Mississauga area as well, which is in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. And then we also have one-way repositionings available. They have them in the Clearfield, Utah area right now, heading up into Delta, BC. And again, you get paid $18.50 to reposition these. They also have them in Paragould, Arkansas, just north of, just outside of Little Rock, as well as over in, Glade Spring, Virginia. So again, check it out, you guys, see what's out there, and hit up my man, Xavier Campos, and Stacy Steen. She's in the audience already as well. Hit her up. She was on the show briefly there yesterday to break everything down. And then also before San Diego to Spokane, that's another one that they have rolling right now. So let's get it rolling. Let's get it up there and let's get this show moving here today. Got to give some shout outs here. Stacy Steen, good morning. Good morning. It says LinkedIn user. God damn it. I'm maybe that's Kyle Lintner. Maybe that's Todd Waldron. Maybe that's Matt Fink. I appreciate you guys joining. Anthony Rhodes, good morning. Papa Freight, what's up, brother? Coming from the best coast, the West Coast, currently in LA, listening to the quote unquote news. There you go. I'm on the wrong coast right now, man. I'm still out here in Florida. We're heading into Tampa, spend the day out there on the beach, and then we fly back to Phoenix tomorrow. Also, here we are right now. We are at day 44 of the Freight Coach Tally. We all know the Freight Coach Tally. There is a parking issue that's out there, and then a facility issue that is out there for our drivers. Again, I'm not doing this every single day for vanity metrics, you guys. I'm here to bring awareness. I'm here to bring education, and I'm here to bring progress to this industry. And I will not fucking stop with this until these drivers that are out there. And again, these are my family. Like, I don't know if I say this enough, but my family are literal drivers. All right. They are owner operators. I come from this. So I'm here to bring this stuff up, and I'll stop bringing this up when they stop sending me pictures of these facilities that are out there. Also, the national average for fuel, we all know what it is. It's up 16 cents. All right. It's the price of gold. That's what it is. It's at $5.70. All right. It's $2.42 price increase year over year. We know how ridiculously expensive this is. And again, it's like, furthermore, this is just the importance of knowing your numbers and knowing your costs, to say the least, right now. And I'm going to bring that in with a post that one of my really good friends, Adam Wingfield, put out there literally right before I went live, and I saw it and I texted him. I'm like, bro, I'm bringing this up on the show. But before we get into that, Joshua Brawley, good morning, sir. Dedicated Trucking, what's up, brother? How are you? Eat Up, Wisconsin? Is that what? Speaking of eating, I can actually enjoy a solid meal today. I finished up 75 hard yesterday. That was my last day on that program. And I'm going to take today and tomorrow since we're traveling. And then I'm going to jump back in on Saturday into phase one, because this is a live hard program. This is a year-long program that I'm on to completely reshape and revitalize everything physically, mentally. It's a mental program. And again, you guys check it out, 75 hard. It's free. All right. That's the best part about it. It's free. I'm going to put a video out there later on, kind of breaking down my journey on it in the mental battle that you have to overcome. But, you know, at the end of the day, you have to win today. That's all you need to focus on. A lot of shit can happen in this world, but you got to win today, first and foremost on that. So the post that my good friend Adam Wingfield put out there, you know, contrary to a lot of reports, and it honestly, it leads into one of my first articles that are out there. You know, freight's still moving. Business, there's still an opportunity, you guys. And that's what I don't want anybody to lose sight of, is regardless of the market, there's an opportunity. All right. Because frankly, people go into business and get out of business every single day. It's not just a trucking thing. But for me, most importantly, I mean, I come from that. Like my great grandparents started a trucking company. My dad owned his own trucking company, you know? So it's like, to me, I'm all about preserving the American dream. And, I'm going to read this post that Adam put up there, because, you know, it goes, in the past 18 months, almost 200,000 new MCs have went active. Close to 250,000 new entrepreneurs and optimistic people wanted to take a swing at the most essential industry of them all. Who would have even guessed? Many of the company owners are unseasoned and inexperienced. For many, this is their first business, quite frankly. They are unlikely to have ever seen a market downturn, and he used air quotes on that. I say return to normalcy in terms of rates, much less run a business in the middle of one. They also bought their trucks and hired their drivers at the top of the market. Everyone wanted in on the boom, and I mean everyone. Now that all the news headlines and taglines may make you feel like you made a terrible decision, here's what you need to know. First, don't panic. Trucking goes in waves. If you are doing what you were supposed to be doing over the last 2 years, we'll be fine. Secondly, please know your numbers and watch them like a hawk. Thirdly, run your business like the CEO you're supposed to be. Stop acting like it's a part-time hustle. With that, you may need to make adjustments that some won't like, but it is your job to ensure that you keep your ship afloat. If you treat this business like a part-time hustle, trucking will hustle you right in and out. And, you know, this is what I love this post. Like, this was phenomenal. And, you know, because to me, it's like, I'm a first-time business owner. All right. I'm navigating through this. Over the last 2 years, I went into business for myself, and it's evolving. There is no fucking playbook for entrepreneurship. All right. No matter what anybody tries to sell you on, there's no fucking playbook for this. If you're a first-time business owner, Adam is 1000% right. The importance of knowing your costs. All right. That is one thing because like for me, it's like that was one area of emphasis for me in growing this up. Now, granted, I don't have a $200,000 truck payment and, you know, $100,000 trailer payment or whatever that looks like, but I pay cash for everything. I pay down my debts, and I'm at a point now where I can continue to reinvest in my company, because that's what it's all about. You know, for me, this is all about preserving everyone's American dream. This is the greatest industry on earth. And I want every single individual who is in this industry to have the education that they need to succeed in any freight market. You know, at the end of the day, it is our duty as an industry to put best practices out there. Now, whether people take that and apply it, I can't fucking control that. All right. But here's what I can control: putting this information out there, because I've been in this industry for 15 years. My man, Adam, he's been in this industry for over 20 years. He was a driver. He's built companies up. He's built multiple companies up. He knows this stuff, you know, and frankly, that's what needs to be put out there, because if you only pay attention to the news headlines out there, I mean, they would advocate for you to shut down everything. For what? And, you know, for me, it's like, fuck anybody who tells you to sell your business. All right. Fuck any single one of them who advocates for you to give up or whatever that is, because frankly, they're not business owners. Who like no real entrepreneur, no real business owner would ever advocate for anybody to sell their shit. Unless, unless it got to, I don't even know. Like, I just can't think of a solution where I would quit, because that's when it stops working, is when you fucking quit. And stop paying attention to these headlines that are out there that are saying for you to do that, because, we're painting the picture, because of course it's never direct. It's always the facade of, oh, this is what's going on. Like the article that I read the other day, which was the biggest fucking joke of journalism I've ever seen in my life. But for me, it's just like, right now more than ever, these market shifts are going to happen. All right. Freight volumes are going to dip. Freight volumes are going to increase. Imports are going to increase. They're going to decrease. That just happens every single fucking year, but it's like knowing your costs, knowing your overhead, knowing your break-even points, and knowing where you need to profit on. Frankly, it's like my experience, the majority of my experience was as a broker. Okay. And I know a lot of my drivers who follow me, you guys aren't the biggest fans of brokers, but I get it, because again, I'm not immune to some of those shady tactics that are out there. But frankly, it's always about this. Not every single lane I moved was profitable. All right. Contrary to belief that's out there, you need to give and take. But, for me, it's always about making money on a rolling 12-month cycle. And you can do that by planning for the future, by planning to build your book of business up over time. So that's kind of it. Before I get into this, I got to get caught up on comments, and then we'll start breaking down some articles. And this first article we're going to break down aligns kind of perfectly with Adam's post. And again, if you guys aren't following Adam on LinkedIn or Instagram or any other social media platforms, you need to give my man a follow. He puts out a ton of value-based content for all of you to consume and apply to your business. John Rogers, Orange is my favorite caller. I was just at a conference. Michelle LeBlanc, she was at this conference. She's in the comments right now too. But when I went into business for myself, I chose Orange because I needed to stand out in a crowd. When I'm walking around with the shirt and the backwards hat on, people recognize me, people know me. If I'm just wearing a blue blazer and a button down, nobody's going to be able to even notice that I'm there. I can't be a face in the crowd if I'm growing my brand. And I would argue that my brand growth, completely organic over the last 2 years, is, I would put it up against fucking anybody's, because it is that brand recognition. It is the orange shirt. It's the backwards hat. It's showing up every single day on that. Let me see. Tony Darnell, John trademarked the look with the logo. It's really a giant tattoo. Oh, Tony, you are fantastic, man. Oh, wow. Yes, you know what, Michelle, that's literally all I packed. My wife was like, "That's really all you're bringing?" I'm like, "Yeah, how else? What else do I need? I just need orange polos every single day." John Rogers, why would you want to sell your business? I put 1 point. Yeah, man. And that's exactly it. You never want to sell your fucking business under any circumstances. Good morning, Cody Miller. Tammy, good morning. Sonny Sharma, Orange Shirt Gang, we're officially done, FYI. All right, FYI, we're officially done with 75 Hard. We finished it up last night. Dennis Everett, he's over on YouTube right now. Every facet of trucking, from mechanic to broker to driver, is continual learning. Amen to that. Andrew Teal, pot twisted. Oh, if I wasn't scared of tattoos, we could actually pull that off. Yeah, Michelle, I can't be a face in the crowd if I'm a growing brand. Amen. Orange Shirt Gang, Sonny Sharma, you are right. All right, let's get into some articles here, you guys. The first one was from FreightWaves. Transportation capacity up again in May. Price is still climbing. And the Logistics Managers Index dips 2.5 points to 67.1. Check that out, you guys. Check out the Logistics Managers Index and get some information on there. Transportation capacity expanded for the second straight month in May after falling for nearly 2 years, according to a monthly survey. And activity in the supply chain remained firm. The LMI, Logistics Managers Index, a measure of the overall supply chain, dipped 2.5 points. The transportation capacity sub-index jumped 7.8 points. The index is now 20.3 points higher than February's reading. The change is evident in FreightWaves' outbound tender reject index. Loads being rejected by carriers have fallen to just 9%, being compared to readings of okay. So again, tenders are rejected based on the fact that they can make more money in another market. Like, let's just call the facts the facts. All right. Contracts in this industry, in my experience, again, I've only moved 3 truckloads in my life, are not even worth the fucking ink and paper that they're printed on, essentially. Because at the end of the day, our customers have a business to run too, and they're going to make the best decisions for their business. As a service provider, we kind of got to deal with that. But that also, being in a free market, you don't have to fucking move their freight, reject the tender. And right now, with the tender rejection, here, just to read it, loads being rejected by carriers have fallen just to 9% compared to, okay. So when you see that stat, for example, their contracted rates are higher. Why would they reject a tender that pays $3 a mile to move on the spot market, which pays $2 a mile? You're not going to do that. So that's why the tender rejections have plummeted with that. And that's why, since where you've seen the rates decrease on the spot market, you guys, is because you're fighting, there's a lot more capacity fighting for a smaller amount of freight. All right, plain and simple. That's what it is. But that doesn't mean just because the national average is at $2 a mile, that is not for every fucking lane on the spot market. You need to be aware of that. There are still plenty of spot market lanes that pay above that. So I had to look this word up because it says the capacity situation, however, has been I can't even pronounce this word right. Bifurcated. We'll pull it out there, but that means two, essentially for simple terms. By carrier size, small carriers dependent on load boards for freight have seen fundamentals tank as lower. Okay, again, it's just like the advocacy of putting it out there. And again, I get it. If you are solely reliant on the spot market, you need to change your approach right now with that. And my man Adam Wingfield could teach you all you need to know. And then it goes on to say, despite the slowdown, it should be noted that we are observing a healthy rate in growth in transportation, but that pales in comparison to the unsustainable growth rates we observed. Additionally, the second half of May heated up. While there is some seasonal connection and capacity around Memorial Day, the size of the change suggests there could be more underlying change. I don't even know what that sounds like. That's just like the epitome of an oxymoron for me. While there was change, it suggests that there could be more change. Congratulations. And it goes on to talk about inventories growing at a slower rate as a whole. Again, to me, there is a lot of opportunity that's out there. There's always going to be opportunity in any freight market that you guys ever see. Again, that article was from FreightWaves, transportation capacity up again in May. And that's the thing. If you want to go into business for yourself. All right. Know your costs though. All right. Know what it's going to take to break even, to make money, to see where the fuel is. I mean, if anything, it's like you got to look at it right now. I mean, fuck, I hope this is the highest we'll ever see fuel, but that's an expense that's out there that you can take into consideration. If you can budget properly and make money in a market like right now, you're going to make a shitload more money when this market shifts. But again, it's applying these best practices day in and day out to continue to sustain your profitability. We got to continue to sustain profitability in any freight market that's out there. And again, it's like you're going to make money on some lanes. You're not going to make money on some lanes. That's just the harsh reality of it all. The goal is obviously to make money every single time, but that has to come at the expectation that your customers are making money every single time. If you're utilizing brokers, working together on that to find a mutually beneficial partnership. All right. And I know that there's going to be people who are going, oh, partnerships don't fucking exist. Well, be the change then. All right. If you don't think partnerships exist in this industry, fucking look in the mirror. All right. What can you do differently to ensure that they do? Because as a broker, I never fucking got rid of drivers who had communication on point, locations were on point. And again, like I get the whole big brother aspect of it. You don't want to be tracked 24/7, 365. I understand. I don't want that either. But at the end of the day, the customer who pays this invoice requires it on a lot of this. All right. There's high visibility, high value shipments that are out there. And frankly, at the end of the day, after that trust has been built up, because that's what it is. Trust takes time. After that trust has been built up, you're going to not need to go on tracking anymore. All right. Just saying. It's part of the game. Some of the carriers that I work with the most rarely were ever on tracking because there was that trust that was there. Let's see. Andrew Teal, it's contracted price, not contracted volume, both ends for the most part. There are some other forward contracts out there that have their teeth on volume for both sides, but not widespread, split into two. Yeah, again, Andrew Teal is another individual you guys need to follow. All right. I talk to him frequently. He's one of the smartest fucking people I've ever came across in this industry. Because, again, he knows this shit. He's from the industry as well, you guys. He's a fourth generation CDL holder. He still has an active CDL. He comes from a family of truck drivers. But yeah, you guys need to check it out. On to the next article. This is from my friend Eric Johnson at the JOC. Flexports leadership change suggests lack of market-defining progress. In a move that sent shockwaves through the logistics community on Wednesday, Ryan Peterson said he will step down as CEO of Flexport in March 2023 and be replaced by ex-Amazon logistics chief Dave Clark. While the unexpected leadership change demonstrates Flexport's lure for heavyweight talent, it may also serve as an acknowledgement of slower than expected market share gains, again, despite billions in venture backing. In a long public statement posted on Twitter, Peterson said he believes Clark was the person who could expedite Flexport's growth by allowing Peterson to focus on its long-term vision while allowing Clark to manage operations that he held at Amazon. Clark, who resigned on Friday from his role in running Amazon's global retail business, after a long stint in building out its logistics and warehouse divisions, will serve as Flexport's co-CEO with Peterson for a 6-month transitional period beginning in September. Peterson, Flexport's charismatic and outspoken founder, will move into an executive chairman role, while Clark will also join Flexport's board as a part of the transition. Goes on to say, as Dave said when I was interviewing him, in 5 years, Flexport will be known hands down as the best supply chain company in the world. Peterson said that the last 21 tweets announcing the change in leadership, Dave is better at the things that we need him to win at the next stage. And Peterson and Flexport declined. I'll note this: Peterson and Flexport declined to request for interview for comment from the JOC. And it goes on to say here that it's unlikely that the move will have immediate impact on Flexport's customs or any changes that will likely be incremental. However, one priority Clark will inherit is the need to develop Flexport's relationships with container lines, which during a time of tight capacity are critical for forwarders similar to Flexport to cultivate, as forwarders are not taken seriously by shippers unless they can prove they have secured capacity and back up their services. The privately held Flexport has self-reported top-line revenues of $3.3 billion when it was announced in the latest round of funding in February, and that includes pass-through freight costs paid to carriers. That's $935 million tranche led by famed VC firm Andreessen Horowitz, valued Flexport at $8 billion. In this announcement Wednesday, Peterson said Flexport will hold on its course for $5 billion in top line revenue in 2022. And that was kind of, I think for me. So again, this is a great article. Eric Johnson is a really good friend of mine. He writes some very quality stuff. I think that it's a solid move from a hiring standpoint, because there was no denying that Dave Clark had a massive push with Amazon overall and building up their logistics arm. Obviously, I don't know Dave Clark personally. We don't text or anything like that. But, say what you want about somebody like Amazon. Their growth is undeniable. Their progress is undeniable. Their market share, their market dominance is undeniable. Regardless of your personal opinions on certain of those things, you have to respect the growth that Amazon has had over here. And obviously, he's a heavyweight in the industry. He's been, he's at Amazon for a long time. I think that it was, again, I think this was probably, some founders may come into this realization some days that, hey, I'm not the best person for the job. I'm not the best person for the job as CEO. And you need to bring people in for that. I think that this is a scenario that some entrepreneurs are going to find themselves in at some point in time. It's one of those situations that I'm looking to see what it is. I'm impartial to either one. I think Flexport Ryan Peterson in particular tried to paint himself as fucking Robin Hood during the port crisis last October by renting the helicopter and the boat and everything while he was profiting hand over fist over the thing and trying to proclaim that wasn't the case. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter. But I think this is a solid move for Flexport overall to bring in Dave Clark. Again, that was from the JOC. Flexports leadership change suggests lack of market-defining progress, written by my friend Eric Johnson. And now, Andrew Teal, you're blushing. Thank you. John Rogers, 90% of my freight is covered by the same carriers. Amen. I love that. And then you need different CEOs type stages. Yeah, absolutely, Teal. I agree with that, because it's just one of those situations, man, that I think that shows, I got to give credit to Ryan Peterson in that situation, because it's not easy to walk away from a founder/CEO role and know that, hey, my limitations have been met, and to get to that valuation. I mean, but at the end of the day, I don't know what the fuck goes on in between his ears, but I know that hiring Dave Clark was phenomenal move on their part. All right. Last article, another one from my friends over at the JOC. Near U.S. record imports to continue through October, says retailers. U.S. retailers on Wednesdays projected near record import volumes for this summer and into the fall, warning that already stressed ports and inland supply chains should prepare for continued challenges throughout the peak shipping season. We are in for a busy summer at the ports. Jonathan Gold, who's the VP of Supply Chain and Customs at the National Retail Federation. And it goes on to say that back-to-school supplies are already arriving and holiday merchandise will be right behind. U.S. imports in June are projected to be 7.5% higher this year than in 21, which would make it the third highest month for imports on record. GPT, hold on, I don't know what the GPT, Global Port Tracker, GPT, Global Port Tracker forecasts that imports in July, 4.8%, in August, 0.2% will be higher than a year ago, while September, 0.4%, and October at 3.8% will be lower. And let me see here. And then it goes on to talk about the Shanghai reopening, a wild card. In addition to the normal seasonal growth of imports, GPT noted that factories in Shanghai are ramping up production after more than 2 months of the Chinese COVID lockdowns. Steel carriers in recent months have blanked dozens of sailings from the world's largest port, and factories are dealing with the shortages of labor and materials. China's recovery will need the government support in order to get the supply chain functioning normally again. And let's see, Hackett Associates founder Ben Hackett said most major U.S. ports and inland destinations they have served have experienced supply chain disruptions caused by vessel backlogs, congested marine terminals, chassis shortages, and congested rail ramps in the interior of the country this year. Alan Murphy, CEO, said that he expects U.S. ports and inland supply chain disruptions to continue through 2022. And that was just kind of like another little quip out there and that was from the JOC, and it's near record U.S. imports to continue through October. It's just the power of not just reading headlines. There are multiple data sources that are going to be out there. And frankly, it's up to you to decide what one you want to follow. Like, again, I'm a massive fan of what the JOC reports on. I'm not going to hide. There's no reason to even hide it. But I think that with a lot of their information and a lot of the stuff that they write about, it's quality. I'm a fan of it. But again, do your own due diligence, you guys. Do your own due diligence and find out what's best for your business based on this. Because, like, regardless of what happens, and this is, kind of to Adam's point earlier and everything, regardless of what happens, freight needs to continue to move. All right, plain and simple. Freight volumes are still up historically. And I will say this every single day. All right, freight volumes are still up. Freight's still moving. Just know how to run your business. All right, plain and simple. You got to know how to run your business, because regardless of the freight market, there's an opportunity to be had. There's money to be made. All right. And that's the only way that you need to look at it as a business owner, is there's always going to be an opportunity for you to use and to take advantage of, because that's what it is. Let's see. Cody Miller, Amazon is still a major disruptor in multiple markets. Yeah, absolutely, man. Couldn't agree more. That's kind of it for today, guys. I know I appreciate shit, man. We've had a ton of people engaging in this. I appreciate you guys all showing up for the earlier time today, and we'll be on again early tomorrow. There'll be a brand new podcast, long form interview dropping tomorrow morning as well. I'll be releasing that promo clip again here a little bit later on today, and then we're heading into Tampa. Go spend some time on the beach today. But again, the audio only version of this podcast the live show will be available on my podcast platform, Coffee with the Freight Coach. And again, the video version of it is going to be available on YouTube, over on my YouTube channel, The Freight Coach. subscribe and share this out, you guys. If you guys see value in this, subscribe and share this out, because at the end of the day, this is how this is all grown. It's through each and every single one of you guys coming in multiple times a week and doing this. Again, this is for the 97% of the industry that is small business. All right. I'm a massive fan of keeping people in business. I want to see each and every one of you live out your American dream. All right. I appreciate you guys all so much. And that's it for the day. The Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in freight. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock Central Time for one more day. And we'll be back to our normal time of 10:30 Central on Monday when I'm back out there in Arizona. I appreciate you guys all so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.